Tabletop CP in our first quick strike video. So if you don't know what a quick strike video is, it's a new project that the boys over at Little Wars TV have come up with, and they're short format video reports just to get more of the community involved in making battle reports, which is something I hardly agree with. And the idea is that anyone can do it with whatever equipment you have. Do a little 10-minute summary video report and post it, and that'll get the community going, get it growing, and that's a good thing for everyone involved. So since I only have 10 minutes, I'm not going to ramble on a lot. We're just going to dive right into this thing. This game is part 2 of a double play that we started. We played Bolt Action on this same map last week, and today it's going to be the Chain of Command version. So Robert's going to be here. He's going to take over the Germans. I'm going to be the Americans. Now we are going to switch up who's doing what. The Germans will now be attacking, and the Americans have taken the hill after the last game at some point, and now they're clinging on to it, and the Germans need to drive them out. After losing Altavilla, the Germans are desperate to get it back and launch a ferocious counterattack against the Americans, who have just secured the hill. The Americans have not had time to establish any static defenses around the village, and have only managed just now bring up a fresh platoon to defend the position. Objective: the Germans must clear all American forces from Altavilla and reoccupy the high ground. In the patrol phase, the Germans will start with 2 stacks of 2 patrol markers on each side of Altavilla. The Americans will start with 4 patrol markers in the center of Altavilla. They also have 1 fixed, locked patrol marker located in the stables. At the end of the patrol phase, the Germans will get 3 jump-off points, the Americans will get 3 jump-off points, and 1 free jump-off point in the main building in Altavilla. For force support, the Germans will be getting 12 points, and the defending Americans will be getting 6 points. And that will do it for the briefing. Let's take a look at the forces. We begin with the attacking German platoon. This is the German infantry platoon from the rulebook, minus all the organic anti-tank assets that they normally would have, as this is Sicily and they weren't really in use at this time. The force rating for this platoon is 0. That is taken from the updated force ratings list. Both of the platoon force ratings are. And it is commanded by Lieutenant Lankowski, who's going to be running the German platoon today. He is a senior leader with a submachine gun. The rest of the platoon consists of 3 squads of infantry, each led by a junior leader sergeant with SMG, and each squad consisting of a 3-man machine gun team and a 6-man rifle team. And that'll do it. Pretty straightforward, not a whole lot to talk about, so we'll move on and look at the Americans. The American platoon is the bog standard American infantry platoon from the rulebook, force rating 0, and they are commanded by Lieutenant Brandon Woods, and he is a lieutenant with carbine, and assisting him is his trusty platoon sergeant Cody Neal, armed with submachine guns. So these guys are both these two are both new patrons of ours, so they'll be in their first combat today. And the rest of the platoon consists of 3 squads of infantry. Each squad is led by a corporal or sergeant with SMG, junior leaders, an 8-man rifle team, and then a 3-man BAR team. And we're going to add an extra support option for the Americans, in that for 1 support point, they can add an extra BAR to every squad, and that can be placed anywhere in the squad that the American player so chooses. So that will do it for the forces. Really straightforward here. Not a lot to talk about. There'll be a little bit more to talk about when we do our plans and pick our support points, but for now that'll be it for the forces. The Germans begin the game with good starting positions in cover close to the village. The Americans begin the game fully on the hill in good hard cover. The German plan is to use their far left jump-off point as a ruse and assault from the right, while the Americans plan to react and deploy counter to the German attack. With some help from some timely double phases, the Germans are able to deploy an infantry gun and 2 squads on the right in cover. Due to the presence of a German pre-game barrage, the Americans decide to start bringing stuff into the village. Under the command of Lieutenant Lankowski, the Germans begin a wide swing to the right, around the village, as well as pushing up into the grass in the center of the board. The American defenders bide their time, as Lankowski and his squad push up to the stables, and the first ranging shots from the mortar barrage arrive. As the American squad falls back from the threat of the barrage, Lankowski and his squad move up to the first American jump-off point. Another German ranging shot lands inside the village. Soon after the ranging shot, a fire for effect is ordered, and shells begin to fall on the village. Under cover of the barrage, Lankowski and his squad move up and capture the American jump-off point. The infantry gun continues its advance towards the village, while Lankowski and his men storm the breach. Under cover of the barrage, Lankowski and his men move towards the front of the village, while the desperate Americans deploy a squad inside the barrage. After a 666 ends the turn, and the playing of some chain of command dice to end the turn again, the barrage goes away, and Lankowski and his men rush into the building. The American commander determines the time is right to deploy another squad in front of the building and advance the second squad into the courtyard and put some fire down onto the Germans hiding inside of the house, causing several casualties. The Germans return fire, causing some casualties of their own. Sadly for the Americans, the German mortar battery is ready to go again and fires an immediate fire for effect, which drifts slightly out of the village, catching only 1 American squad and Lankowski's men inside the building. Under cover of a second barrage, the next German squad advances towards the village, quickly followed by the third and final German squad. As the Americans hide in fear behind the hill from the barrage, both German squads continue their advance towards Altavilla. Seeing an opening, American commander rushes 2 squads around the village with hopes of engaging the German forces. Seeing this, the second German senior leader, Neal orders both squads to advance and fire on the Americans, but doing little damage. After several failed attempts to get through the hole in the wall, Staff Sergeant Neal and his squad finally make it around the outside of the stables to threaten the infantry gun. The 2 German infantry squads in the building and the last American squad at the bottom of the hill exchange fire, causing some casualties each, but nothing severe. Meanwhile, Staff Sergeant Neal and his squad have made it into close combat with the infantry gun and managed to wipe it out, although at the cost of a wound to Staff Sergeant Neal, which brings the American force morale down to 2 after losing 2 jump-off points prior. After hearing the commotion behind them and the death of the infantry gun, the German squad turns around to receive the next American charge, but it never comes. After exchanging some more fire, and with their force morale down at 2, the Americans decide to withdraw and leave Altavilla to the Germans. In the end, the American force morale was at 2 from 9, the Germans dropped from a 10 down to a 6, and the Americans withdrew. So it was a good game. Obviously, I couldn't cover everything that happened. There was a lot of leader hits and stuff that I didn't talk about. But in a short format, you can't go over everything. So I went over what I thought was important. And this is the end result. And we're trying to keep it under 10 minutes, which is going to be here very soon. So I encourage all you guys to give this a try. It's pretty fun. It's pretty easy. You can use a phone. You don't have to have any fancy equipment or editing gear. Just get in there and start trying. It's easier than you might think. So with that, thanks for Greg and everyone at Little Wars, and thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you guys next time.